Hello, I was muted. Welcome to today's live stream. We are going to be going over 7 different options that you can use to finance your business using business credit. We're going to these different options are going to be helping you build business credit as you go, and you're able to then leverage them to get additional types of business financing in the future. So I'm Alex Fries. I'm here at Credit Suite. And I'm extremely excited to be talking over all of this stuff with you guys today. So these credit lines range from startup to larger businesses and are flexible enough to fit any kind of business needs. So whether you're just starting out and you need some help in different areas, or you're an established business that may not be properly utilizing business credit to help protect your personal finances and your personal credit. You may not be leveraging business credit into other types of financing, and business credit can actually help your overall fundability. These credit lines can be used to help establish that business credit and may be able to also help with cash flow as you go. So a lot of people don't recognize all of the different uses of business credit. We just build business credit for the sake of building it. And that's actually one way to approach it. We use business credit for a lot of things. Established businesses can use business credit to actually start moving debt off of personal into the business where it should be. That raises the personal credit score, and then we can leverage that personal credit score into additional types of financing, as well as utilizing that business credit to manage the day-to-day operations of our business. So we're going to go over 7 lines. There's a lot more. We have hundreds of different business credit accounts, ranging from vendors to credit cards to actual auto financing and vehicle financing inside of our Fundability system. And these are our 7 that we've actually taken and can give to anybody that anybody can use these different trade lines. So the first one that I want to touch on is CEO Creative. I don't know if anybody has heard of them before, but if you throw in the comments, if you have ever needed any kind of marketing, web design, marketing automation, digital marketing assets, anything like that, throw that in the chat. I want to know, because that is what CEO Creative is good for. It's really beneficial for new businesses that are just starting out in marketing. But if you're an established business and you need help with your marketing, CEO Creative is a fantastic resource. They're what we call service-based credit. So it is a reporting trade line, and the services and products that you get from CEO Creative do report onto your business credit. They're going to report to Equifax and Credit Safe, and then they've also noted that Dun & Bradstreet is coming. And all you really need to get started with CEO Creative is your Fundability Foundation, which we talk about a lot. I see Pierre coming in from Connecticut. Welcome. You love CEO Creative, so that's great to see. They are a fantastic trade line for you to have, and they're relatively easy to get, and you can get up to $10,000 as a credit line. So if we remember, like, what are we doing? If you're a business owner, you may be using a personal credit card, or maybe even a business credit card that reports to personal credit. We all have that credit card. I owned a business before joining Credit Suite, and I went out and got a business credit card, and it had my business name on it, but it was actually reporting to my personal credit. We've all been there, and it is a way to finance our business, right? That's an incredibly useful financial tool for us as business owners to use. But in this case, instead of spending dollars on that credit card that then reports that utilization to my personal credit, I can move that spend into a trade line that actually reports to business credit. It's helping me build and establish my business credit profile, which I know I need for other types of financing. It improves my fundability overall. And it actually helps by lowering my utilization on the personal side. And now I can use that higher personal credit score to leverage into other types of financing and loans. So if you have questions, as you see, throw them into the comments. I'm here to answer them. Our second trade line that I want to talk about today is Uline. It's really good, just really easy to get, high reporting credit limit, and it boosts your your business credit with stuff that you could actually use. So if you have an office or a home office and you need packaging, shipping materials, especially if you're e-commerce, Uline is a fantastic trade line to have. But it even supplies office furniture. So even if you have a home office, you may be asking, what the heck am I going to get from Uline? You can get office furniture and other office supplies that are legitimate business expenses that you can use for your home office or a designated space within your home. You may also want to talk to a trusted CPA or licensed CPA in your state that can kind of help you navigate the tax implications of home offices and expenses. But Uline is a trade line that you can actually use. Again, instead of spending this stuff either on a business credit card that reports to personal, or maybe even a business credit card where you already have utilization, this can be used instead. It reports to the business credit bureaus, D&B and Experian, and it's relatively easy to get even as a new business. So if you're a less established business, all the way up to established businesses should be using Uline. And it seems silly to use like this tier 1 vendor as a business that's been in business for a really long time. Why not just use a credit card if you can support it financially? And the reason is it helps you get more loans in the future. If a lender pulls your business credit report and they see that your high limit or utilization on Uline or office supplies, whatever the category is on your business credit report, is higher, and they're extending more and more credit to you, they're actually more likely to make that loan amount or credit line amount even higher. So using business credit trade lines is an incredibly useful tool to actually leverage into getting more in different types of funding where you'll need one of the 3 C's. So you don't skimp on Uline. It's still an amazing trade line to get. You can get other things like warehouse equipment and janitorial supplies as well. So if you're cleaning anything, you may want to get those cleaning supplies from Uline. Looks like we have another comment. Pierre said they're awesome. It was easy to apply and get accepted. I don't know if you're talking about Uline or CEO Creative, Pierre, but I appreciate that feedback. So so far, both of these trade lines only require Fundability Foundation in place. I can go over what that is, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube. If you want, you can go to youtube.com/credit suite and just type in on the channel search Fundability Foundation, and you should be able to find some videos. Pierre says, yes, Cedric says, yes, I need that. Cedric, thank you for joining us. Welcome. Our next trade line is Brex. So Brex.com, I'm sure we've all heard of it. It is a great tool to use for startups that also have funding. It can be used to help kind of protect cash flow and improve cash management or cash flow management. It kind of gives you an available trade line for purchases. So there's 2 options with Brex. There's daily net terms, and then there's net 30 terms. So those are daily net terms. Purchases are taken out daily, and you can spend without using a debit card or anything like that connected directly to a bank account. And then your net 30s are obviously taken out on a 30-day net term. It's a starter vendor, so you have to have your Fundability Foundation in place, and it's also going to report to D&B, Experian, and Equifax. So it's reporting to 3 places. Like I said, it is an incredibly useful tool if you do have startup funding. Awesome. So our next trade line is AT&T Business Solutions. So we all need a business cell phone if we're out. This is especially useful if you have regular clients that you're communicating with on an ongoing basis. Remember, a business cell phone does not replace a dedicated business phone number for fundability reasons, but we all have uses for business cell phones. If we have a team that we're giving cell phones to, as part of their benefits, or if they have the need for a business cell phone, you can actually finance those purchases through an AT&T trade line that's going to report. So you not only get a business cell phone, you get an affordable cellular plan that can be opened up again to employees. We consider this a tier 3 vendor, but it does not require a personal guarantee. But being a tier 3 vendor, what does that mean? What that means is that you actually have to have at least 6 reporting trade line or trade experiences on your business credit reports. It's a plus if you have them reporting across the variety or all 3 business credit bureaus at that point. What is the tier system in business credit? Let's take a little side trip down that line. We tier or group together vendors and business credit accounts. So that includes credit cards, vehicle financing, that kind of banks, bank credit cards, into groupings that have similar requirements for qualification and approval. So whether they require a certain amount of time in business, if they require a personal guarantee or not a personal guarantee, all of those different factors, who they report to, what types of requirements do they have. We're basing that data off of tens of thousands of users who are applying for vendors across our system. And then we determine, hey, this vendor we get way higher approval rates with this vendor if the people who are applying have 6 or more trade experiences on their business credit reports. And so you'll see this tier language out and about, even outside of Credit Suite. And really that's what it means is like tier 1 vendors require less things to get approved. Tier 2 requires a little bit more. Tier 3 requires a little bit more. And Tier 4 requires a little bit more. What we've seen is if you generally get 3 within each group, you'd be able to qualify for the next step. That's not to say you couldn't qualify for a tier 3 vendor with like 6 or 7 tier 1 vendors already reporting. It's just there's different businesses and types of accounts within each tier. And then AT&T does report to Experian and Equifax quarterly. So that's useful for there. Cedric asks, what would be a good trade line for a bakery? And do you have any trade lines or vendors for a new bakery? Great question, Cedric. So we actually went over one. A couple of them. So depending on what you're doing with that bakery, if you need marketing services or web design or anything like that, CEO Creative is a great one. It's relatively easy to get. It is a starter vendor or I think it's tier 1. I could be wrong on that. And then Uline is another great one, especially for a bakery. If you're doing any kind of boxed goods, so if people come into your bakery and you're boxing things up, Uline has a whole catalog of different boxes that you can get. They also have other packaging supplies, janitorial supplies. So if you're cleaning and your bakery, there's sanitary conditions and things like that, criteria that you need to meet for health codes. Uline is a place where you can get all of your cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, the actual mop buckets, things like that can all be purchased through Uline. Having it report to the business credit bureaus, you're not using a personal credit card to support that purchasing, which then again protects your personal utilization when you need to use that to leverage your personal credit for other types of financing to grow. So this is what we say. This is a great example, Cedric, and thank you for asking this question. Bakery is a great example because it's a business where it's really easy to have all of these different needs. And you can run the day-to-day operations of that bakery with business credit. All of these vendors can be used to make all of the purchases that you need within the bakery, have those purchases start to build up your business credit profile. And then when you want to scale that bakery or grow that bakery, maybe move to a second location, maybe move to a larger location, whatever the goal is for you, Cedric, you can then leverage other things within your fundability to get a line of credit, or maybe to get a loan or something like that, because you have business credit built up, your personal credit is somewhat protected, and you can now leverage one of the 3 C's or multiple of the 3 C's to get that loan. Great question. So then we have Sam's Club. I think Sam's Club is probably one of the most popular business credit cards out there, because it's one of the easiest, if not the easiest, non-PG'd. So when I say PG, I mean personal guarantee. It's one of the easiest non-PG business credit cards or business credit lines out there. And so it is also a credit card that can be used anywhere that credit cards are accepted. So I believe it is MasterCard. Don't hold me to that. So obviously anywhere where those are accepted, which is pretty much 100% of everywhere now. It does also report to Dun & Bradstreet, but it does require a relatively strong business credit profile to qualify. Now, if you're in the Get Business Credit Facebook group, or you're in another Facebook group, or in these online forums or anywhere, you may see people getting approved for Sam's Club's cards all the time. It's important to remember that underwriters are going to look at a variety of things about the business. They're going to look at income in the business, or they may look at income in the business. They may inadvertently do a personal credit check. You don't know the situation of what that business is in. They may have crazy high revenue. They may be in a highly established business that has 10 years in business. They may be highly profitable. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know that contributes to that business's overall fundability. So it's important not to get discouraged when you see somebody who like just got a Sam's Club card and they have no other accounts reporting. You don't know that for sure if they're not maliciously not telling you the truth, but they may not even know if they have other accounts reporting or not. And it's really important to focus on what your business's strengths and weaknesses are. And we approach all of that within Fundability to really drill down into, here's where your business is very strong, here's where it's okay, and here's where it needs a lot of help. And where it needs a lot of help and where it's okay is where we focus on changing those things in your business. And that could be, hey, we need a few more vendors here. We need to change your address or update your address in these areas. And that actually helps build a better fundability profile and improves your overall fundability, increasing your likelihood of getting, of qualifying and getting approved for different types of financing. Our sixth, we're getting to the end here. Our sixth trade line that we want to talk about today is Funbox. Funbox is still a useful trade line. We've seen some fluctuations in approvals, but Funbox is still relatively useful. You can go to creditsuite.com/Funbox and access that. I think we have that there. And it's relatively easy to get and qualify for. It's also it's also a trade line or a credit line that can be used anywhere. It is going to require a personal guarantee. And Funbox has been a pretty strong leader in fintech related credit lines for small businesses for quite a long time. And they've got great terms and rates that go along with it. So I can't necessarily say what you're going to qualify for here on this training, but you can check out Funbox's requirements and things like that at creditsuite.com/Funbox. And then this is my favorite. It's because we have this product here at Credit Suite, and we've been really successful with helping our clients access this type of trade line or series of credit lines, I should say. And that is Credit Line Hybrid. So Credit Line Hybrid program is, if you've heard of credit card stacking, it basically is that. So we help understand where are the strengths in the business. This is a credit line that we are going to leverage personal credit for. But what did we talk about at the beginning of this live stream? We talked about utilizing business credit so that we, in a way that's logical, so that we can run the day-to-day operations of our business, have that report to the business credit bureaus, and free up and protect our personal credit and our personal finances. There are going to be times while running a business where we do want and or need to leverage our personal credit to grow the business. So what I like to say is we use business credit to run the day-to-day operations, and we then leverage one of the 3 C's, credit, cash flow, or collateral, to grow the business. This is where we actually get cash in hand, and we can then use it in the business as we need to use it. Credit line hybrid, the way that we approach it is a little bit different than the way that a lot of companies claiming to do credit card stacking approach it. They may just bulk apply for credit cards, and then they either teach you or give you a way to what's called liquidating the credit line or the cash line off of that credit card. Credit line hybrid for us is we're meticulously going through the strengths and weaknesses in your business and your personal credit. And then we help apply, or the team helps apply for the right cards that you're most likely to get approved for. And we've seen the cool thing about this is you can get up to $150,000 in cash for the business. And that's at typically 0% interest for anywhere between 12 and 18 months. So you're not going to pay any interest on that pull from your credit for 6 or 12 to 18 months, which gives you a really good chunk of time to do what you need to do in your business to increase profit, to increase cash flow, to be able to not only grow the business, but also pay back off of that credit, what you used in that credit line. The cool thing about this is anybody can get it. Since we're basing it off of your personal credit, anyone can get it if you have the credit qualifications that you need. And if you don't, you can also use a credit partner to help qualify and get approved for it. So if you have a business partner or a spouse or somebody that is comfortable with you using or leveraging their personal credit to help get the financing for the company, you can do that. It's one of the only startup financing option, like true financing options that's available. So if you're brand new in business credit is a great way to really start establishing yourself correctly. But if you need money to grow marketing, or if you're high growth and you just need a little bit more cash, the credit line hybrid is a great way to do that. Again, because it's being based off of your personal credit, and you can get up to 6 figures in a credit line with 0% interest for up to 18 months. So how do you qualify for something like a credit line hybrid? You have to have really good Fundability foundation. You can't skimp on Fundability foundation. Notice I've said that for every single credit line here. It's because Fundability foundation is vital before you start applying for anything outside of tier 1 credit. Even tier 1 business credit, you really need to focus on Fundability foundation before you apply. It helps kind of eliminate the apply and hope kind of mentality that a lot of people take when applying for credit. You're going to need to have a 700, as of this training today, 700 credit score, and there are some other requirements. If you go to creditsuite.com/CLH or scan the QR code right here next to me, you'll be able to see all the different requirements that are necessary. Even if you don't qualify on the face of it, let's still talk. We can actually help work through some of the different criteria. And you may qualify for some other type of financing that we didn't talk about here today. So if you don't qualify for credit line hybrid, if you go to creditsuite.com/CLH, you'll be able to see all of those different criteria. Or you can sign up for a free business finance assessment. What happens on that assessment? We're going to go over the different things in your business. So you can come with questions about building business credit and everything like that. But we actually want to talk about your business. What are your business goals? So come prepared for where you want to go in the future, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. Not saying that Credit Suite is the only place where you can get those goals met, but we want to know about them. The next thing is we want to know if you have any business credit established already. We'll actually ask you a couple of questions, or do a quick search to see if you have trade lines reporting. And then from there, we can determine what are the best places for your business to get the financing that it needs. Financing being business credit and loans and credit lines. So you can go to creditsuite.com/consult, or go ahead and scan the QR code to get that free business finance assessment. I'm just going to look through the comments here. CEO Creative. If you have any additional questions about any of the trade lines that we went over today, or credit lines that we went over today, throw those into the comments. I also want to share a quick introduction to our Fundability. We talked a lot about Fundability Foundation, and Fundability Foundation is one of the biggest things that you can focus on as a business owner. It does not matter, by the way, if you are a year in business or under a year in business, or you're 10 years in business. We see all kinds of businesses that have problems with their foundation for a variety of different reasons. As a new business, you may not have set things up properly or haven't finished setting things up. As an established business, you've been in business for a long time. You may have started out at one address and moved to another, one bank and moved to another, whatever it may be. And there are just things that are kind of in the weeds that you need to sort of fix. So one of the ways that we do that is through the Fundability system. And you can see we actually break down the main pillars of the Fundability. And the one that we've been talking about so much is Fundability Foundation. So the cool thing about this system is we actually show you what's wrong in your business and what you'll be matched for, or Fundability matched for. So I'm not matched for trade vendor credit, but I can actually see exactly what's impacting my ability to get that tier 1 trade vendor credit right here, and go into those and fix them. Same thing for other types of financing. If I look, I am qualified in this case for credit line hybrid, but not for business revenue financing. I can see the different criteria and the exact thing that's actually holding me back in my fundability factors and pillars that I need to work on. So you can see something that's hurting me a little bit is my business bank account information that I've entered in, and also my entity type. So these are things that I can see and make a clear impact on my overall fundability score. The more that I work on here, the higher my fundability score gets. The system also helps us track funding manager and accounts that I'm approved for and need to continue to focus on, as well as tracking, hey, what is my distribution of all of these trade lines across the different credit bureaus. So Fundability Foundation, we also look at personal credit, again, your business credit, your reports, and even the application process. When and how we apply for business credit accounts or business loans or any kind of business financing out there, are the way that we apply and when we apply for those things matters. If we just applied for an SBA loan without having any forethought into the Fundability Foundation, having business credit profile established, working on improving our personal credit, we're going to get denied for that SBA loan. But if we're have a need for financing the day-to-day operations of our business using business credit, I can still get cash flow management tools like a Uline trade line, for instance, that helps me move debt off of my personal credit onto my business credit, and helps lower my utilization on the personal side of things that I'm no longer buying with a personal credit card or a credit card that reports to personal credit. These are all different things that we look at in businesses and actually coach people through using the Fundability system. So that is Fundability, and in a nutshell, along with 7 trade lines that you can use right now, even most of them as a new business. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to just share a quick video on the Fundability system. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to spend with me today.
Easily access business credit and funding to grow your business through the unique Fundability system by Credit Suite. Access your Fundability score to see how fundable your business is right now, and in one click, exponentially increase your ability to get approved for credit and loans. Funding Explorer integrates with your business credit data to show you all business credit cards, loans, and credit lines you can qualify for now. And it shows you simple changes you can make to your Fundability to unlock even more funding options. The Fundability system gives you access to the largest supply of high-limit business credit cards, vendor accounts, and auto financing that actually protect your personal credit and finances. And you get access to loans and credit lines through over 1,000 lending sources. Get the most money to grow your business at the best terms, quickly and easily with Fundability.